Today's trading recap, I'm going to be going over price action from SPY, and I'm going to be going over the 3 trades that I took. So 2 of those were trades on Webull and Robinhood, and the last trade was on paper trade, and I was just testing out the indicator that I custom coded on paper trading just to kind of backtest and make sure that it's reliable in real time. So I'll start by going through my zones and levels. So this demand zone right here is from yesterday's high of day. The demand zone below that is from a few days back, low of day, which has this demand zone was present yesterday as well, and it held pretty strong. The overhead supply zone is from 3 days back, low of day. The supply zone above that is from 4 days back, high of day, and then this supply zone at the very top is from 3 days back, high of day. So you'll notice that my zones come from highs and lows of days, and I've been trading that way, and it's been super reliable. The reason that I have multiple zones is because I want to maximize the number of potential price targets that I have. So if I want to take profit, I want to scalp rather than hold for an extended period of time. I have multiple levels where I can expect price action to hit resistance or tag on support. So I'll start with my trades. We'll go ahead and go through the price action. This demand zone held pretty strong, and you can see it looks like we're going to make a move up. And so we make a move up there, and this is a pretty good entry. This is my first entry on calls. We had this MACD crossover. We had this really big increase in buying volume. Had a bullish engulfing candle that closed above this supply zone, and so I entered calls here looking for my target as would be this red fib level right here. And so we hit that on the next candle up. So I'll go ahead and show you this right here. So this is where I entered the trade, and then this is where I sold, and then those were for 16%. Alright, we're going to continue with price action. Looks like we find support on this fib level here. We hit this overhead supply zone resistance. We break through that. We reject this supply zone, and then bounce off the bottom of this demand zone. Reject fib level, close above. Okay, so this was my next trade. So what I was looking for was a close above this supply zone and the 400 level. That 400 level is a very strong technical and psychological level. So I knew closing over that, especially if it came with volume, which is, as you can see here, would take us to my next level of resistance, most likely. So I entered calls right here. My first target was this red zone right here, or this red fib level right here, and then it kind of just blasted through that and tagged this next overhead resistance, which is kind of where I took my profits. And so this one I actually called out a decent amount in advance, so let me go ahead and get that tweet. So here, potential trade idea. I wanted to close over 414 to go to 40132, and then we got that close, and so that was met. And then at that point I had 12% on my Webull and 19% on my Robinhood, so I was done trading for the day. And the only other trade I have to show you is going to be a paper trade on the indicator. So we start to consolidate here. And then once we consolidate for a while, I start to notice that we get a nice bull flag that starts to take shape. And so let me draw that. So you'll see from here, I had this nice bull flag. And so you could have waited for a break above this bull flag and probably take a trade to high of day. So that would be right there, previous high of day. That would be a decent trade. And so consolidate, we end up closing above the structure, and then we actually end up hitting previous high of day. No trade there, but that was a really good one. And so I just kind of jumped the gun there, but it's my last trade of the day, so let me go ahead and go here. So we have some pretty bearish candles, and we even have high selling volume, and we start to close below the 21 EMA, showing weakness. We start to bear flag here, and then I wait for my indicator. Right, so my indicator triggers right there. So the indicator triggers, and I enter puts and my targets here. So this is my first target, which is the support from back here, and then my final target would be the top of this demand zone. So I enter puts based on the alert, and then those end up hitting VWAP, and I end up taking 30% on those. They actually end up dropping much further, which you'll see, but let me show you the trade really quick. So 29.73% on those. We find a little bit of support on VWAP. We actually close below VWAP, find some support on this demand zone right here. And then I think from here we reverse, reverse, looks like we rejected the 200 EMA, tried again and broke out, and then we closed. So that's a recap of today. So those were my trades, 2 real trades, 1 paper trade, 3 out of 3, and then this was a really good trade idea that I didn't end up taking but ended up playing out. So thank you.